Hi there, welcome to the video. Welcome back if you're a return viewer. My name's Kerry, and on this channel we look at books and my thoughts on the books that I've recently read. And today it is the 5th of January 2023. We're well into the new year already. That little interim period between Christmas and New Year is over and things are starting to get back to life. Myself, I am thinking about what I'm going to do for money in the near term. Beyond that, everything is going quite well. Okay, today I want to look at this book that I finished reading last night, that is Undoctored by Adam Kay. Now, 5 or so years ago, Adam Kay put out a book called This Is Going to Hurt. It was like a diary memoir type thing of his experiences as a young junior doctor in the British NHS, National Health System, and how it was essentially organised chaos which really treated the staff there like rubbish. He stressed out, had a little wobble there, and he ended up leaving the medical profession. Now, that book he later adapted into a somewhat different television series of the same name, and that was a lot of good fun as well. Very enjoyable series with a serious message and some serious thinking behind it. Now, Undoctored is his follow-up to that book, This Is Going to Hurt. This is quite a different beast. It's no longer the diary memoir type structure of the earlier book. This is more or less a selection of anecdotes and stories from before, during and after his time in medicine, with a linking narrative looking from the current day more or less, about how he reconstructed his life after leaving medicine, how he became a writer, comedian, and the opportunities he took or passed up on. Like I said, the stories that he relates from various time periods before, after, and during his time in medicine is quite a lot about his training as a medical student. There's some stories about various people that he encountered in the medical service, and there's some quite serious stories as well about things that occurred to him during his life. Not all the stories are great. Some of them have a lot of build-up and there's very slight things, and some of them aren't that great. 2 stories in this book which did stick out for me, where the first one was about how a person he met made a comment about his weight, like him being a big lad or something, and he took it really seriously and ended up in a downward spiral into a eating disorder. He basically stopped eating. He would chew his food and spit it out, and he did this for months and months. Got quite sick, but he felt it was worth it to be a smaller size or something, to fit into smaller clothes. And it shows how the physical act of not eating turned into a mental condition. And it took one of his flatmates who discovered the food that he had thrown out or spat into a bin after a month of him being away. You can imagine what that might have smelled like. It took him to discover this and confront Kay and get him to seek help. Now, the other story in the book, which is quite a serious one, relates to a trip he took to New Zealand to talk at a medical conference, and it ended up he was a little distressed or something beforehand anyway, and he decided to go do something stupid, and he visited a gay bathhouse and ended up being sexually assaulted there. His guilt and anger about this kind of spread into the rest of his life, and he looks back at it in quite a serious manner, and he's using this book to kind of like release the demons that have been plaguing him ever since. And at the end of the book, he really ponders about whether his whole humorous outlook on things is just a defensive mechanism for the bad things that have happened to him in his life. Now, the humour from This Is Going to Hurt is one of the things that made it a bestseller, and the humour remains in this book. There's lots of running gags. There's something about a wolf and a panini which continues throughout the book, which is quite funny, and he just has a real knack of making light of really serious situations in a way that, you know, keeps you amused, keeps you reading, keeps you enjoying, even though it's quite excruciatingly gory some of the things that he mentions about this in this book. I'd say it's a lesser book than This Is Going to Hurt. It's not quite of the same impact. It's not quite eye-opening about the health service. You know all this stuff already by now. And but it is entertaining, and it's good to see him being able to unburden himself of some quite serious issues. There's more in here about his partners. There's a whole lot about him when he was married to a woman, and yet they almost had a child, which he hasn't mentioned anywhere before. So it's a lot of stuff coming out for him, and I enjoyed the book. Like I said, it's not quite the same impact as the earlier one, but it's still worth a read. So you will enjoy this book if you've read the earlier ones, or if you have any sense of humour, really. So that's a lot of medical stuff in it. Just be warned, he doesn't flinch away from describing some pretty gruesome things, but a lot of it's done with humour, like I said. So that is Undoctored by Adam Kay. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.